Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I have one more question. It's like once we say let's ace and say hired. Okay, the person got hired. Definitely. It is generating one on ID, so I don't know whether it's a Workday ID or do we need to do. We have an option that we can generate an ID according to our. It's like vary company to company. You want to generate your own sequence for employee IDs. Is that? Alright. So here you see what happened. So let's say, when Chloe Tuck was hired, this is a numbering sequence was 2, 4, 2, 6, 2, right? When I hired NDD test worker, it says employee 6, 5, 6, 7, 0. The format is definitely different, right? If I look at NDD test worker, just let me show you. You see, the employee ID is employee 6, 5, 6, 7, 0. This is a hint that, of course, you can change your employee ID, so there is this. Setup, edit tenant. Edit tenant setup. I think it's HCM, edit tenant setup. HCM, where you can define the sequence number of your employee IDs, and there you can also define many different things, like how your job requisitions will look like. Okay, you see here the new positions. What is the sequence format of your new positions? RSA something, right? Yeah, and then let's look at, there will be something for employee ID as well. Yeah, RSA 0 to 7, 1 is again it's something is in the rule, or yes, so we can create sequence generators. Okay, so the sequence generators, we will do that when we talk about integrations, but yeah, it applies here as well. So let me open it up. You see, it is an ID definition or a sequence generator. So here you can define what is the format. Let me quickly change this. I hope I was not. I was absolutely yeah. So it is an edit tenant setup. So you see, instead of RSA 0, 0, 2, 7, 1 seek. Let me just put it very simple as RSA and seek OK. So if this is my sequence format, then you see, this would be my number, RSA 292. Now, if I want to have some zeros, 0, let's say I want it to be always of a fixed length, right? 6 zeros, and then 292. So then herein is in the padding, I can put it like 9. Okay, and then what happens, you see? Automatically it becomes RSA 0000292. Yeah, I'm just looking for this setup. Yeah, that's great. Yes, absolutely, so it is. Edit tenant setup HCM, and there you have your sequence generators right here. So here you can control the way your employee IDs are generated, what you see here. What is the ID definition for pre-hire ID? What is the ID definition for employee contingent workers? Dependent ID is beneficial. So here you have the ability to define each of those things, okay, and ID sequence generators, right. Of course, each organization would like to have their own sequence, right, because some company will have 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people will have something else, right? So of course, you will be able to do that. Yeah, one more question to disturb everyone, but I mean everyone will learn on this as well. So see, basically, when we are entering a value, now we are hiring a person, right? You already hired one person. So when we are hiring a person, we wanted to put some criterias on each and every field. Just an example I'm taking as in, so let's say, region code. Okay, so region code, if it does not match, as I'm saying US1. So it should throw an error saying that, okay, the region ID code is not valid or something kind of so. So at the time of enter events, it is a part of hiring itself, right? So is it how that can be possible? With that, we will be using something called as custom. Yeah, that is what is called custom validation. So there are a few things here. One is, we can put those conditional rules in your business process steps when we do business process. That's when we will see. So we can include some steps, conditional rules in the business process. So if this is the case, I mean if such and such condition is met, then this will be the value. We did that already, how we can restrict only a certain region codes. Let's say, for a particular supervisory organization, hiring restriction, restrict is it? Is it a hiring restrictions or is it somebody else? I'll get segments like in the supervisory, or you can absolutely it's an org assignments. So there we have the list of allowed organization and the default organizations. Right here I'm using the P. I'm using your organization as a difference because you have done it all correctly. So here you see, the region, that there are two allowed regions, Central and Northeast. If I try to use USA West, I will not be allowed to do that because it's not in my drop-down. It's not allowed. By default, the worker that we are hiring will be in a Central, but if I want to change, I can change between Central and Northeast because this is only allowed right. What about the company? What about the company? Is there any restriction? No, so you can choose any company, right? But if you want to choose between 2 or 3 companies, then you should specify them here. Okay. Yep, thank you. Right. So this is how we can fit, all right. So now let's start a new topic, which is security, right? Who is allowed to do what and who is allowed to see what? Right. This is what security is all about. So let's quickly review what we already know. We have seen this. Organizations, right? We have seen that there are different types of organizations in Workday, like company cost centers. Locations is not typically an organization, or location is not something that has configurable security, right? So which is the component that has configurable security in locations? Location hierarchy. Yes, location hierarchy, because location does not have any security configuration. So let's just assume that this is location hierarchy. And then we obviously have supervisory organization which has configurable security. Now, when we were creating these organizations, etc., we saw that roles were assigned to these organizations. Right. The role of manager, the role of HR partner, the role of compensation partner, etc. Those were the rules that we had assigned to each of these organizations whenever we had great owner hierarchy, owner. Those were some of the rules that we had assigned to the organizations. Right roles internally have security groups associated with them. Okay, so if I have the role of manager, then that role of manager will be associated with a security group called role, called manager, and the security group manager will be given some permissions. Okay, and the permissions will be given to the secured items or domains and subdomains. So now I will come back to this diagram. Keep a screenshot of this diagram. Keep it handy, because this explains the security in a very, very easy to understand manner. Now let's take an example outside of working. Okay, let's just take our minds off this particular Workday security system for a moment. Let's think about a traffic signal, okay, and you are driving down the road. You are approaching that traffic signal, and let's say the traffic signal is red. Okay, so what would you do? Or what are you allowed to do? In that particular scenario, to stop, you have to. You have to stop, right? You have to stop. So the rule says you have to stop. What happens? If you just cross, then you are breaking the rule, and you are liable to be penalized, right? If there is a camera, it catches you, it will send you a fine at your home. Or if there are cops around, they will catch you and they will whatever give you a punishment for doing that. So we are not supposed to, and we are not allowed to cross over when the light is red in a traffic signal. Now think about you are standing there waiting for the light to turn green, and there is an ambulance coming on the same road which is all its sirens blazing, and this is and it is responding to an emergency, and the ambulance comes. Will the ambulance stop at the red light and wait for it to turn green? No, why not? Why not? Won't the police catch them? No, that's an emergency. So what happened? It can just cross over and go on its own.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us at sales@upptalk.com.